Hello, my name is Ivan Pozo-Illas, otherwise known as Atrayo, and this will be part two to a part one I released probably or posted a few days ago on my blog site and here on YouTube. And this is from a blog entry I made, I believe, October the 12th of Jewels of Truth and Favorite Quotes of the Month. And since I'm a clairvoyant automatic writer, I've been doing that for 22 years time, and I channel only angels, which I thought that was the case until just a few months ago, where I started to experiment channeling ascended masters, basically Christ, Moses, I guess Kuan Yin, Pele, Freya, the Scandinavian goddess. I started dabbling, and I eventually I got tapped, you could say, by God, and I channeled him. And these statements are authored by God, you could say. In these three statements, in part one, I read about divine inheritance and the Morpheus principle, and here in divine second part is the really lightning rod of a post of Abrahamic Mysticism, where God debunks that there was ever a battle in heaven, that a rebellion by Lucifer, which was originally the archangel Azazel, the morning star. So, and he's even saying that Azazel was not tossed or ejected from heaven, that angels or archangels, they're more or less like correctional officers, you could say, in hell. All of them have a presence there. The archangel Ariel, which is known to be the master of all beasts, creatures, has a presence in the underworld, you could say, like a correctional officer. And Azazel is no difference. We call him his alter ego as Lucifer. This stuff is very fringe. I'm even struggling with reconciling it. So, but I'm just a messenger here, and this is always by unconditional love. So you could reject it, but just consider it as expanding your inventory of possibilities metaphysically. This would be statement number 2538. Let me see how many paragraphs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 paragraphs. And after I finish reading this, I'll read the favorite quotes of the month, which will be about 7 of them. And I'll put the link down so you can read along in this YouTube text section. And let me just jump right in. And this is God through me in my automatic writing, and it always seems he's writing in a third person perspective, sort of like from a hive meta consciousness. Every once in a while, a soul realizes that pre-existing religious theologies have errors in it. To one form of a mischaracterization to another, let alone mistranslations to the differences of a language. Not to pick apart sacred faiths in the world as wholly evolved methodologies of worshiping the divine dearly, one can easily conclude humanity is error-prone by design as a mere observation, even when it comes to sacred religious doctrines of theologies the world over. We say this from the eons of misinformation that is taught and retaught when fusion between two or more spiritual traditions collide over the centuries. There is much sampling, and in some ways it is enchanted and encouraged in the guise of cross-pollination of cultures upon the earth. However, errors that are costly as fallacies are introduced regularly by re-edits, whether by institutional favoritism, by power brokers as hubs of religiosity, seeking to dominate, worshiping versus letting them be by God's good graces alone. The perfection of the Holy Father of God is without reproach and unequal even by all the angelic choirs combined. Upon all creations as the trinity of the afterlife of heaven, limbo, and hell itself. For example, in the Abrahamic faiths, theologically speaking, to have a battle in heaven, an absolute realm of pure perfection, is ludicrous! Exclamation point. A battle fought in heaven would denote a corruption or clash of angelic souls in the perfect realm of absolute peace where God resides deeply as heaven itself. That is purely human approximations as inadequate and plainly oxymoronic in the wholly pure divine nature of God's being. A projection from known human norms of antiquity where battles were fought in ancient bygone kingdoms. This may be true for the earth itself with primitive creatures. However, metaphysically, it doesn't jive or make sense in paradise. For the singular Spirit of God, a battle in heaven is an untruth at best, or a salacious morality tale gone horribly wrong, adopted as theology long ago for the Abrahamic faith traditions. What God gives in His almighty supreme perfection is never withdrawn or diluted into bastardizations! Exclamation point. When God gives, it is absolutely perfect and pure multidimensionally without unparalleled equality! Exclamation point. No angels have ever been cast out of heaven, a perfect reality metaphysically to begin with, in all paramount holy truth. For Azazel and his loyal guardian flock remain in one of the many plateaus of the endless heavens, permanently perched as adjudicators of the eternal holy light of God by free will and choice of selected duties. All archangels are enlightened forever by the blessed will of God by decree of the Creator. That can never be stripped away or trampled underfoot by any misdeed, as God gives perfectly without ever making mistakes! Exclamation point. For as God is absolute love, the Creator is always also absolute forgiveness forever. Archangel Azazel never sinned or committed a crime against God, for God forgives absolutely in His greatness alone and without end. That leaves the question of Lucifer's role in the bowels of hell as a governor, devil, chieftain. As each person in the world is capable of doing good, being neutral, and committing evil, the originator of all totalities of God is no different, albeit He does so with pure enlightenment, reconciled in every which way possible and impossible. As God is the Alpha of all our souls and all things without end, it goes without saying that God is the original creator, sustainer, and destroyer of all creations and realities therein as the Omega. All archangels constantly observe these tenets by means of enlightened edicts, reconciled with pure good, pure neutrality, and pure evil as one phenomenon, known simply as God's essence. What this means is that all angels, including the beloved archangels such as esteemed Ariel, have total dominion of all metaphysical creations, including the entirety of the afterlife, i.e., heaven, limbo, and hell. And limbo is like a purgatory. Every angel sourced from the simplest in duties and to the mightiest archangels have numerous privileges as titles and honorary functional roles to act upon, which means the archangels, not unlike the seraphim, and the principalities and powers as angelic choirs have triple personifications of the aforementioned totality of goddess. And goddess, I mean the feminine aspect of God. Meaning the angels all have triple duty roles in heaven, limbo, and hell, as keepers of God's pure essence, be it as correctional officers here on earth. The Abrahamic faiths have recognized Azazel as both archangel and his alter ego as Lucifer the devil. Much like Archangel Ariel is a keeper of all beasts and creatures as Holy Mother Nature of the earth and of the underworld simultaneously. This isn't an isolated event, an act of God for all archangels in heaven as enlightened divine minor gods and goddesses have triple duty roles in limbo and hell as well, performing by a voluntary free will at the behest of the sincere will of God as adjudicators of God's great mystery. Every soul is equally capable to have dispositions by their thoughts, intents, words, and actions, whether based on pure truth or false assertions. As God decreed, Azazel is forgiven absolutely and loved equally as you and I are as the infinite children of God. Amen. And I sign this with my name, Ivan Pozo-Illas, otherwise known as Atrayo. So that's a whopper. Like I said, I'm still reconciling it, but it's making sense. But it's in the gray basket, especially for those who are institutional. I'll probably be tossed as a heretic. At least, fortunately, I'm no longer at the type that gets burned at the stake. But if they don't listen to such simplicity in the way that this was channeled, they never will. They'll have to wait until they pass over to figure this one out. Now, these are the next favorite quotes of the month, and I have 7 here. And I may mess up some of the surnames. So, peace, like most beautiful things, begins small. A common prayer, a liturgy for ordinary radicals. In a way, I guess I'm a radical here. Next one. Never be so focused on what you're looking for that you overlook the thing you actually find, by Anne Patchett. The next one is one of my favorites. What you seek is seeking you, by Rumi. For wisdom will come into your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. The Book of Proverbs, chapter 2, verse 10. When we do the best we can, we never know what miracle is wrought in our life or the life of another, by Helen Keller. The next, we know truth only by reason, but also by the heart. Blaise Pascal. And another one, this is also by Rumi. The soul of the universe is love. I'll repeat that. The soul of the universe is love. And that's Rumi's. So I hope you got at least expanded your inventory of metaphysical ideas, even though you will probably disagree with what I just read about or channels from God above there. Please like the video. Please subscribe to this channel. I try to upload at least 1 video a week. Sometimes I do more than that. My website is jewelsoftruth.us. That's jewelsoftruth.us. I'll put a link to that there, and also to this blog entry so you could read along. Thank you for watching. And I also do have a Pinterest folder with over 170 of these, you could say, memes of angelic wisdom. And I'll put a link to that as well in here. So if you want to take a look at them, and they're all there for free. So thank you for watching, and till the next video. Bye now.